Hello everybody, we are live again. Great to be with you all. So let's see, next stream will be on Thursday, which should be the 22nd of May at 3:30 p.m. UK time. So it's lovely to see you all, and hi to Manisco, hi to Oksana, hi to Julia, hi to Renyard, hi to Typhor, hi to Victoria, hi to Vitali, hi to Peter, and hi to anyone else coming in. So what idiom to use if you're going to say that you don't want to pay for something? Toad is suffocating me. You don't want to pay for something. Oof. I'm strapped for cash. I don't have anything nearly as nice as that, Renyard. Yeah, Toad is suffocating me. I'm drowning in debt, perhaps. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Victor. I don't want to pay for this. I am drowning in debt. So, hi Nadia, hi Victor, hi Patricia. So, let's go for it. So yes, next stream on Thursday. So this was this article we've been doing about plants that are really drought resistant, and how to make crops that will be resistant to drought in the future. Just as the microbiome is a heated, hot, warm, fiery topic in human health, the root microbiome, or rhizosphere, is gaining interest in agricultural science. So, hot says Vitali, heated says Julia, heated says Peter. Ooh, this is going to be a good one. Hot topic says Renyard. Let's see. Hot topic says Victoria. Hot topic says Nadia. Hot or fiery says Patricia. Heated says Manisco. Okay. I'm not going to cough up for this. I'm not coughing up for that. That's a good one, Vitali. Well done, Vitali. Okay. I guess fiery might work. If a subject is heated, it means people are angry about it. People are arguing angrily. There was a heated discussion, a torrid topic. Okay, yes. A warm topic, no. Fiery definitely works, but I think hot topic, this is a collocation. Yeah, this is a hot topic. There was a heated argument between the brothers. Yeah, a heated debate. They started shouting at each other. Yeah, fiery might work, but it's a bit more metaphorical. A hot topic. Okay. And drought tolerance. Could, must, might, should. Could, must, should, might. Not just be in the leaves and stems, but in the roots. Drought tolerance could, must, should, might not be just in the leaves and stems, but in the roots. Victoria goes for might. Should says Vitali. Could says Renyard. Might says Manisco. Might says Peter. So, drought tolerance could not be. It says it's impossible that it's only in the roots, leaves and stems. Not could. Might for Julia. Good afternoon, Firdabs. Lovely to see you. Should says that is talking about something that you think it should not just be in the stems. It's talking about some sort of obligation. Should, I don't like at all. Must not be. No, this is an order. It's talking about possibility. It might not just be. This is a speculation. So it could not be. It was impossible that it wasn't just. Must not be. Somebody is giving an order. Should not be. No, might is by far the best. It's saying there's a possibility that it's not just in the leaves and stem, but the roots. Yes, well done, Victoria. You got that, definitely. This is where there might be potential, possibility, aptitude, competence for groups like resurrection plants or other extreme species, says George. Drought is a period of a time when it doesn't rain. Hi Anabia Bushra. Okay, drought is when it doesn't rain and it doesn't rain and it doesn't rain and it doesn't rain. My pleasure, Renyard. Okay, so a drought is a long period without rain and then everything dries up. This is where there might be potential, possibility, aptitude, competence for groups like resurrection plants. Possibility, says Victoria. Possibility, says Manisco. Possibility, says Julia. Potential, says Peter. Possibility, says Vitali. Potential, says Elwa. Hi Elwa, nice to see you. Possibility, says Nadia. Potential, says Patricia. Possibility, says Firdavs. Possibility, says Renyard. Let's see. Competence. Competence is your skill at something. It's skill at doing something. Potential, says Oksana. Aptitude is talking about your ability as well. There might be possibility. Possibility doesn't fit. Nadia's gone for potential as well. So let's see who started with potential. That was Peter who started. Peter and Elwa started with potential. Potential, but there might be a possibility. Yes, there might be possibility. There might be potential. Yeah, okay, potential. They have the power to do something. It's definitely potential. Yeah, the potential to something that has potential. It has a lot of possibilities for the future. There might be potential for groups like resurrection plants. If there's a microbiome element to their ability to manage, make do, confront, cope with extreme stress, then you might be able to transfer that into a cropping system much more easily than, say, a genetic components. Cope, says Elwa. Cope, says Vitali. Cope, says Oksana. Cope, says Peter. Cope, says Nadia. Hi Philippe, who goes for cope. Julia says cope with. Victoria, cope with. Renyard, Manisco and Firdavs, cope with. So, their ability to manage with extreme stress. I think I would prefer manage extreme stress. To make do with extreme stress. To make do with is to use what you have available. Cope with for Lionheart, welcome. Cope with for Patricia. To confront is to meet it face to face and try and deal with it. To cope with, yes, to deal with extreme stress. And this is right, absolutely, exactly, quite what Ferranti is trying to do. Farrant, not Ferranti. This is right, absolutely, exactly, quite what Farrant is trying to do. So, exactly for Oksana, exactly for Elva, exactly for Vitali, Philippe, Nadia, Julia, Manisco and Peter. Exactly, says Victoria and Patricia as well. This is right, no. Exactly for Lionheart, exactly for Firdavs. This is absolutely, no, it's exactly. This is precisely. It's precisely what he's trying to do. Yes, precisely, Patricia. You took the word out of my mouth. United, altogether, joined, along with her colleagues, Chandri Tebeli and Rose Marks, she has begun to map the microbiome of the Myrothamnus flabifolia, a species that is unique even among resurrection plants. So, Vitali goes for along with, so does Oksana and Philippe and Manisco and Nadia. Along with, says Victoria and Lionheart and Peter. Along with. United is talking about unity. And a unity in a political party. Along with, yes. Okay, together with, but not all together. You didn't know the word was in your mouth. Exactly. Well, maybe you're psychic, P. Joined with, no. Along with, together with, joined with. But joined is more is normally more physical. This building is joined with the next one. Along with this is talking about people doing things together. I passed the exam along with all of my friends. Okay, so yeah, definitely along with his colleagues. Whoops. Having joined efforts with somebody, she did that. Having joined efforts with other people, she did this. I have a feeling we're starting to get a lag in my connection. Grrr. Okay, so all together with, it could fit. United with. Poof, no, but along with, definitely along with. I'm sorry, Gul Yasmin. I need to do it. I'm sorry about that. Along with, says Patricia. Yes. Oh, this one I had difficulty writing it. In concert with, that's a good term. Hi Gull, lovely to see you. Growing in gravelly mire, grime, bog soil in South Africa. It can grow to waist height and is more like a bush than a lonely patch of grass. Growing in gravelly mire, grime, bog soil in South Africa. So soil, says Peter, soil, says Oksana, soil for Vitali, soil for Philippe, soil for Reynard, soil for Victoria, soil for Manisco. Soil for Julia. A mire is like a bog. A mire is a wet, muddy place. So I was walking through the mire and my shoes got caught in the mire and I couldn't get out. Mire is talking about dirty, wet, muddy. And this article is not talking about wet places. A mire is like a bog. Soil for Firdab, soil for Nadia, soil for Patricia. Soil is the physical earth that you use to grow things in. So let's see, when growing cactuses you want a very light gravelly soil with lots of drainage. The soil is the physical earth, the physical medium we use. Grime is talking about dirt. Yeah, the windows are grimy, but soil, it's the earth, yes. In gravelly soil in South Africa. Even with such complexity and size. Okay, that's what Oksana does. She waits for her daughter from school and answers in the stream while waiting. It's a good solution, Oksana. Even with such complexity and size, it can stay, stand, bear, survive, hang in, scrape for 9 months or more without water. Both cactuses or cacti, both. Survive, says Vitali. Survive, says Oksana. I've even got a video about this with irregular plurals. Cactuses, cacti, both possible, Rainyard. Survive anyway for Vitali and Oksana and Julia. Survive for Philippe and Peter and Nadia. Grime, mire and bog have the same connotation, but soil is the odd word out. Yes, grime is also talking about dirt. Survive for Victoria. Cactuses or cacti both. Survive, says Lionheart. Survive, says Rainyard. Survive, says Patricia the Tree. Can stay, no. Can bear. Can bear, no for. Bear 9 months or more without water. Hang in. Can hang in for 9... I guess hang in would work as well, but it's terribly informal. To stay doesn't work. Let's see. To stay, you stay in a hotel. I stayed for a month in Rome. Yeah. Okay. Survive. It's definitely survive. To scrape by, maybe to scrape by for 9 months, but to survive. It can stand 9 months. It can bear 9 months. It can survive for 9 months. It can hang in there for 9 months without water. Okay, let's go for the next. Wow. The researchers' first survey of M. flabifolia's rhizosphere, printed, issued, broadcast, published in 2024, revealed over 900 unique bacterial and fungal groups, the beginning of what might become a drought-tolerant probiotic that can be used for other plants. Published, says Renyard. Published, says Vitali. Published, says Oksana. Published, says Julia. Published for Peter. Published for Victoria. Published for Nadia. So this is talking about putting bacteria and fungi in the earth to make the plant more drought tolerant. Hi, Joe Peda. So published for Joe, published for Nadia, published for Philippe. The researchers. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Oksana. That's good. You're absolutely right. The researchers' first survey, definitely. Published, says Patricia. Smash the like, says Julia. Issued. Okay, to issue. You issue banknotes. You issue shares. But you publish a survey. Yeah, broadcast is over the radio or television. You print it, it goes to the printers, but it's published. It's published is it's emitted. Okay, so it was published in 2024. Broadcast on television. I'm broadcasting at the moment, emitting to the world. To issue a warning, that's a good one, Philippe. And unveiled would be too posh. It does work. Unveiled, it's because it's the most important piece of scientific work this year. Brought out as well is a good word. Published, says Lionheart. Above ground, though, it's Farrant's work on teff. Teff is a plant that may be most fortunate, auspicious, advantageous, convenient, prosperous. So above ground, because they've been talking about the roots and below ground, but above ground, it is Farrant's work on teff, a type of cereal that may be most fortunate, auspicious, advantageous, convenient and prosperous. Prosperous for Lando. Hi Lando, lovely to see you. Brought to light. Brought out. Not brought to light, because it brings to light various... The survey brings to light various details, but brought out, published, yes. So prosperous for Lando, auspicious for Peter, prosperous for Julia, advantageous for Patricia, advantageous for Victoria. Teff is from Ethiopia. Yeah, that's very good, Dawit. Prosperous for Philippe, advantageous for Firdavs, advantaged for Patricia, prosperous for Manisco. This is very interesting. Advantageous says Nadia. Advantageous says Renyard. This one's quite interesting. I suppose I would have to say advantageous is possible, but it's not the word that they used. Because advantageous, it has the best advantage. Advantageous for Dawit as well. Because they're still investigating and they haven't come to a solution yet. Prosperous is for people. Yeah, prosperous is talking about money. Yeah, this is a prosperous city. These are prosperous people. It's talking about rich. But maybe most advantageous, yes. Yes, that's it, Vitali, exactly. Something that augurs well for the future. Auspicious. Yes, Nadia. Auspicious for circumstances. And the auspicious for the research, because it looks good at present. Prosperous, successful and wealthy. Context is king. Convenient, no. Convenient is easy. Fortunate, no. It's so. I'm going to accept advantageous, but auspicious, because it's predicting that it's going to be good in the future. This is from auspex, a Latin word meaning an omen, a prediction of the future. And it's the most auspicious. It's the one that looks like it's going to give the best results in the future. Advantageous says it's already showing the advantages. Auspicious is talking about the possibilities for the future. So auspicious year, says Victoria. You need a little rolls. A naturally gluten-less, lacking, absent-free cereal. Teff has been grown in for thousands of years in Ethiopia with a chauffeur. So, Dawit, here we go, yes. Something that bodes well for the future. His work on Teff is most auspicious, yes. Auspicious, bodes well. You were the one who started with auspicious, Peter. I think Peter deserves an ice cream for auspicious. So, gluten-free for Lando, Philippe, Victoria, free for Patricia, free for Firdavs. Teff's characteristics are auspicious, yes. Free for Vitali, free for Oksana, free for Dawit, free for Peter, gluten-free for Julia, free for Renyard, very clearly. It's gluten-free cereal, definitely. It's been grown in Ethiopia for thousands of years. Its tolerance to water scarcity has long led to it being lauded, cheered, saluted, complimented as a sustainable and climate resilient crop. But Farrant is interested in this species for slightly different reasons. Fortune telling with birds in ancient Rome. Yes, exactly. Free, says Nadia. Auspex. Naturally sans gluten cereal. I love it, Vitali. Lauded, says Philippe. Lauded, says Patricia. Lauded, says Vitali. Lauded, says Dawit. Lauded for Peter. To laud is to praise. Lauded, says Julia. So I would like to laud all of the people in this video for their excellent English. Lauded for Renyard. He couldn't tie my laces as well. Lauded for Oksana. To laud is to praise, to say how good something is. He lauded the work of this charity. Lauded for Nadia. Lauded for Oksana. So, cheered. Yay! Saluted is a military salute. Lauded, says Lionheart. Lauded for Firdavs. And help me with my coat. Laud. To laud is to praise. Complimented. I guess complimented might work. To compliment, to say something nice, but lauded. Lauded is a much, much better word. To laud. Yeah. Talked, bigged as. It's been lauded. It's been praised as. Teff is the only crop that has a resurrection plant as an adjacent, nearly, next, close relative. It's what we're here for, Victoria. And it's a word to put in your dictionary. Lauded. Teff is the only crop that has a resurrection plant as an adjacent, nearly, next, close relative. So Vitali says close relative. Close relative for Lando. A relative. It always jams at the beets. Huh. Okay, close relative, says Philippe. Close relative for Julia. And the arms. The heels and the arms. Close relative for Oksana. Close for Nadia. A close relative for Dawit. Close. Yes, this is a collocation. A close relative. Not a distant relative. And the trousers. Close relative for Reynard. Close relative for Joe Peira as well. Close relative for Firdavs. Okay, so a close relative is a brother, an uncle, somebody that's not a long way away. Adjacent is next door, so there's a bank adjacent to my house. Close for Patricia. You could say a near relative, but not nearly. A next relative, no. A close relative. The heel, yes, I got that, P. So last one for today then. Eragrostis nidensis, a waist-height grass that grows on rocky slants, slopes, tilts, bevels across southern Africa. And this is the relative it has. Agrostis nidensis. Rocky slope, says Philippe. Rocky slope, says Nadia. Touted as lauded. It's being touted as. To tout is to try to sell, but yes. 2 feet in the same. It's happened to me as well, P. Rocky slope, says Vitali. Rocky slope, says Firdavs. Rocky slope, says Oksana. Okay. Bevels. What is a bevel? Slant. You slant something, you put it at an angle. You tilt to put it at an angle as well. Slopes for Oksana and Julia and Peter and Reynard and Victoria. What is a bevel? Slopes for Patricia. Slopes for El Billy. Welcome, El Billy. It's been quite a while, El Billy. Lovely to see you. So, slants, slopes, tilts. Okay, so the slope in carpentry, or a bevel is an instrument. Okay, slopes. Bevel is a cut at 90 degrees, slanted writing. Or for example, a mirror. If the edge of the mirror is at an angle like that, is canted, that is a beveled. Okay, so a bevel. Or in carpentry, you cut a piece of wood at 45 degrees at an angle. So a bevel is an angle on the edge of something. The rocky ridges, I like rocky ridges. Bevel, angle that is not 90 degrees, very good. Bevel is a sloping edge, that's very good. Yeah, a bevel, it's a sloping edge, a beveled edges of something. Very often the adjective beveled as well. Beveled edges. Okay, so enough for today. Let's see, next stream is on Thursday, which is the 22nd of May at 3:30 PM UK time. Then you've got a leg in the opening for the waist. Yes, it's more in engineering, construction, in glass, in carpentry, in design, in architecture. That's very good. So thank you all for coming. It's been great. And Thank you for coming, Julia. Thanks to Dawit. Thank you to El Billy. Thank you to Lionheart and Firdavs. Thank you to Joe Peda. Thank you to Julia. Thank you to Philippe. Thank you to Nadia and Oksana and Patricia. Thank you to Julia. Thank you to Peter and Patricia and Rainyard and Victoria and Vitali. And thank you to Philippe and Manisco as well.